All right, Andrew Douglas here in the Action News 5 digital desk. I want to show you the cover of the latest edition of the Memphis Flyer, out in newsstands now, taking care of beerness. All right, that is the cover there, but we're going to be talking about a couple of other stories that are chock full in the Memphis Flyer. And we all know when you get in the Memphis Flyer, there are all kinds of articles that you can peruse and look at and read more. Of course, memphisflyer.com. You can read them at your desktop or your computer or your phone. I'm joined now by someone who's never been on the digital desk before. We got Kailynn Johnson, a reporter for the Memphis Flyer, joining us for the first time. Kailynn, it's good to meet you. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. Thanks for coming on the digital desk for us this morning. I see that you have two stories out this week worthy of attention. Tell me about the STD rates here in Memphis. Some surprising news for some people out there. Other people might not be surprised.
Most definitely. So Interbody.com did a study, and it shows that Memphis, Tennessee was ranked #1 with the highest STD rates out of 100 cities in the United States. And I thought this was fairly interesting because for a long time, I believe Jackson, Mississippi was #1, so Memphis has overtaken that spot. And I also thought it was worth mentioning that this was during the time when it was really heavy in the news that HIV funding would actually be cut from the state of Tennessee.
So you know, that's interesting, Kailynn, because it's like you just mentioned. I remember hearing Jackson, Mississippi was the top spot, and then Memphis overtook Jackson. Did it explain like why the factors were had Memphis overtaking Jackson? Was there something that we're missing here on what we did specifically or didn't do?
Well, I think one of the things that they really focused heavily on is that the STD burden is not equal in all of our cities. And one of those things was basically saying that minority populations are basically more susceptible to these HIV and all these other STDs. And when I talked to Krista Wright of The Haven, one of the things that she really focused heavily on was that one of the misconceptions about HIV and other STDs is that it's predominantly African American, and that is by behavior. But she also explained that that's simply not true. Most of the time it's due to lack of resources and accessibility.
Okay, and you can read more about this article here in the Memphis Flyer, STD capital of the country, Memphis, Tennessee. You have another article here, Kailynn, calling, it's about drag. It's called Rage on the Stage. Tell me more about that.
Yes, so as of now, the House and Governor Bill Lee decided to sign into a bill basically that restricts drag performances from happening in public spaces or basically anywhere where a child could be seen basically can see these drag performances. And so one of the things that I really found interesting in my drag coverage in the past and in talking to other drag performers was that one thing that they really hold symbolic to them are bricks. And it's not a violent meaning, or when they choose to use a brick in their performances, it's not actually like anger involved in it. It's actually paying homage to the Stonewall riots, which a lot of people give credit to giving to the gay rights movement. And you'll start to see that history is kind of repeating itself. And actually Memphis in the past has had pageants that pay homage to the Stonewall riots because there was a time when drag performers were not allowed to even go out in public. So to kind of see that history repeat itself, I thought that was a really good starting point, and that these performers wanted to, I guess, voice their rage in an artistic way to not only give them the space to voice what's going on, but other people in the community as well.
Yeah, I learned something with your article, Kailynn. I had no idea that the brick was that kind of symbol, and it's kind of making a comeback there. Tell me more about yourself. Since this is the first time we're interviewing you, tell me about yourself. Are you a Memphian, native Memphian? Where'd you grow up?
So I'm originally from South Haven, Mississippi. However, I did receive my bachelor's degree from the University of Tennessee in Knoxville. So I'm a Tennessean at heart.
Okay, excellent. Well, listen, we appreciate you coming on the Action News 5 digital desk, and really appreciate your work here with the Memphis Flyer, taking care of beerness. This is on newsstands now. Of course, you can read more of Kaylynn's work there at Memphis Flyer and memphisflyer.com. We appreciate your time once again. Thanks very much.
Yes, thank you.